Hello, this is the rider briefing for round 2 of the Fox Superflow, sealed by stands. We're heading up to Port Macquarie. Big shout out to the local councils. We're welcoming us with open arms there and supporting the event, which is fantastic. And we will be racing at the JOLLY Nose MTB Park, which is of course taken care of by the Hastings Valley's mountain bike riders. Fantastic club. Great support of us, and we're very happy to support that club as well. And being a sponsor of them is lovely for us, and lovely that we can finally have a race there this year. Okay, let's dive straight into the things. Good news first. We have had 4 races now in the bag in a new COVID world, and in the grand scheme of things, we must say it worked really, really well. So all of you riders who have come to them, who've seen them, you've seen how it works, how the social distancing and the new procedures we have in place, they actually don't take away from the racing at all, we find. So a few things we still need to fine tune, but overall we're really, really happy with how everything went. And at this point, a huge thanks to everybody who came and did the right thing. Doing the right thing, what does that look like? Let's start with Regio. So you rock up at the event center. You head to the registration tent, and right there we have a nice, really long queue, and it just naturally spread out a little bit. We have plenty of space there. Racing will be over 2 days, as we had in the previous round, and you have all morning pretty much to register. Please refer to the website for schedule and the exact dates and times. But yeah, you have all morning to go and get your race plate for the day. And so that naturally spreads everybody out quite big anyway over the venue and over the time frame. From there on, you have until 3:30 every day to do your 3 valid runs. We got 3 tracks on offer: Fox, Stands, and Laser. Those are the 3 names for the track, and yeah, they're really, really easy to find. Look at the map there. Essentially follow up a fire road to get to the start of each one of them, and then the tracks are more or less parallel to that fire road that you rode up. One of them finishes right at the event center, and then we actually have a second event center, if you like, or more. That's probably where we're gonna position the orange bus, and it's gonna be close to the finish of 2 of the tracks. And there is the only spot where we have phone reception, so that's a bit of a tricky bit. At JOLLY Nose, that at the car park, at the main event, so there is no phone reception, so we don't have access to results there. And if there's anything that we need to look up, or if there's any changes at the registration, if you're racing on a new number, or if something changed with your Regio, we need to do it there at the secondary event center. But we'll let you know at Regio. Come there first. This is where you get your tent, the main car park. And if there's anything that we need to do at the other one, we'll send you there and let you know. Not gonna be that hard. All right, next big thing, let's talk about the weather. Of course, we've been monitoring it, and at the moment it looks like this. We do expect some rain to come, or front to come through on Friday. So Friday night, I'm pretty certain it's gonna rain. And then Saturday, possible showers. There could be heavier times or none at all. It's really, really hard to forecast them at this point. Sunday, at this point, again, looks a little bit better, but again, we will probably have a few showers throughout the race. The racetracks, spoken to the club, of course, they handle the rain really, really well, and on Friday we make the decision where we're going to put the exact finishes, because some of the lower areas, they might become a bit wet over the weekend, so we might bring them up a little bit higher, but that will be decided on Friday on site. But that means even if it does rain a lot, especially on the Friday, the race will go ahead. There's no need to call us, ask us for updates. If there's any updates regarding weather or anything in general, go to our website. That's before we even do anything. We update the website with the latest news in case there are any changes. If you have any questions, go to the website, go to the news section of the Superflow, and that's where you will find the latest news. Oh yeah, that front is supposed to be even worse the further south you go. So it might be that on the way up you will drive through very, very heavy rain. That does not necessarily mean it's getting as much up in Port Macquarie as well. What else have we got? The race format, as always, 5 runs, 3 tracks, fastest one counts. There's no more practice as such, so you go straight into the race runs. Tracks will be ready from about 9 o'clock in the morning. Your last race run is at 3:30. You have to be at your final start then. Very important, you get your number plate. You either, if you were on a podium at the previous round, you would have received one of those in the mail. If not, we can give you one on the day, or you may get some of our regular race plates. Regardless, very important to put them on the correct way, because at the back of them there's a timing chip, and if the timing chip is mangled, if it's in your back pocket because the number plate fell down, or if it's getting a lot of mud on it, sometimes they do fail and then they don't work. So very important to, now first step, put the number plate on the correct way, which is use the pre-punched holes, put those on the handlebars and tie it down here. So don't have it too scrunched up. Don't start putting your own holes in there because you think it looks a little bit better or it's more aerodynamic. It's aerodynamic is important, but not as important than actually having the correct time. So as soon as you start punching holes in there and it's sort of touching the metal frames, the chip that's on the back, sometimes we see errors there, and we're aiming for 100% read rate. So we're getting close at most events, and it's very frustrating. And sometimes we lose times because chips are not, or sorry, number plates are not mounted correctly. So please do that correct way. Another thing we noticed at the previous race is once number plates get mud on the back, sometimes there are a little bit of the error rates creep in sometimes. So keep an eye on the number plate where the chip is. It might be worthwhile just to take your gloves and give them a bit of a wipe down, especially when you start flicking a lot of mud on them. Speaking of mud, we are of course aware that with running the event over 2 days, that luck with the weather plays a role in the standings. And we totally understand that. We get that, unfortunately, at the moment with COVID. There's not a whole lot we can do about that. We prefer to go back to the one-day racing format and have a lot of people there, but as you all know, we need to spread the rider field at the moment. We did get a few questions after the last one where you ask, hey, why can't we have certain categories on one day and others on the other to make it fair in that regard, which is a great idea. However, this would mean that we need to separate a lot of groups of friends, families, parents with their kids who come and want to spend the day together, which is really what the Superflow is all about. So groups of people being able to ride together who are not necessarily in the same category. And as soon as we dictate, okay, this category is on this day and this other is on that day, this is this can't happen anymore. And so we hope you understand, yes, weather can play a role, especially over 2 days, and there might be an advantage over one day or the other. But unfortunately, that's part of racing, and for the time being, there's nothing we can do about that.
How can people find results throughout the weekend?
Very easy. Go to the website, grab your phone, bring your phone with you, and check your results frequently. The results tab is on the website. Under the Superflow Jolly Nose, there's a tab, results. Just click on there, find yourself, and you get all the updates about your times. When you click on your name or the name of a friend you want to look at, actually a little window pops up that has each and every time posted on that day.
And what about photos throughout the weekend?
We have the team from Outer Image there, and as always, they're going to take pictures of you, smiling, hooting down the trails. They're included in the race fee, so you get them for free.
And what happens with the ceremony? How do we handle that?
We went to a virtual ceremony. Quite a lot of work on our behalf, but we think it works reasonably well, or it works really well. That instead of having a ceremony at the end of the day, we have a virtual one. So once you've clocked your race runs, all you need to do is head home. And then, in the last one, we mailed out the actual certificates. The winner's plates, the podium plates in the last round.
And touching on the ceremony, because we can't do that at the moment because of social distancing, how will riders be affected by the social distancing rules during or throughout the weekend and throughout the race?
The Superflow is a good format to run and being distant from other riders as much as possible. So please help us there and keep that in mind. It starts when you arrive at the car park. You see so many friends. Don't shake hands. Don't high five. Wave to each other. And also talking to us, to all the staff, please just always keep a bit of a natural distance. We are in a state forest up there. At which point I want to give a huge shout out to the State Forest of New South Wales. It's a fantastic partner for us to run those events in a COVID safe way. So keep it in mind, in a state forest, just as long as we all keep a little bit separate, more than usual, it's very easy to run an event, to do this together with you in a COVID safe way. When you come to every queue, every start line, not that we expect any queues to form this weekend, but yeah, if you get there, just keep a bit of distance. That's all it is.
So even at the start line, before the start, just to spread out and give everyone some space. What happens out on track? We often get people who cheer on each other. How should that be done?
Yeah, we want heckling to happen. Cheering is an important part. But again, don't do it from 2 meters away. Do it from 4 meters away. Scream a little bit harder, but make sure that you do it from a good distance away to the riders.
What else can we expect from the weekend apart from exploring Port Macquarie off the racetrack?
Yeah, it's going to be a cool weekend for us. So the team, it's a double header. So we're having the Fox Superflow this weekend, followed by 2 GPs the weekend after, one in Jolly Nose and then on Sunday in Kempsey. If you plan to come from Queensland, that's probably not happening anymore with the new border closures. So as always, keep those things in mind, keep updated on the government websites that give you all the important information of what is allowed. At this point, travel within New South Wales and also coming from the ACT is allowed, is legal. But yeah, it's up to you to find out where you are currently at, where you have been, and whether it is safe and allowed for you to travel. And then, of course, the rules that we had and that are really, really, really important that we do not get slack with those are: if you feel sick in the morning of the race, do not come. If you've been in contact with anybody who may have had COVID, you're not quite sure, please do not come. Just run those things through in your head. Go like, is it safe? What are the chances that I've been in contact, that I've been to a place that may have had it? Any of those things apply. Please do not come. We'll refund your entry. No questions asked. No problems about it there. But please, we really need to be strict. The last thing we want is find our race, our event on one of those lists of places where everybody needs to get checked and where everybody needs to quarantine. And that's up to everybody to help us in that regard. And we thank everybody who's done it so far. There's been quite a lot of you who said, look, I don't feel 100%, or I've been in a spot, please can I get a refund? We refunded a lot of entries and swapped things around for you. So none of that is a problem as long as we can keep racing in a safe way.
What about these infamous hotspots? How can people find out about those? Where could they check their postcodes? Again,
just check your websites. As I said, travel within New South Wales at this point is allowed. But if you come to this race and you live in Queensland and want to come back, then there's new rules that have been introduced this morning, which actually put a bit of a span in the works for the team here, because we got the Queensland team and the New South Wales team. And so now the Queensland team unfortunately can't come to this event anymore. So yeah, just keep up to date with the government websites where you live, predominantly New South Wales government.
And just to repeat on that refund policy that we have currently in place, if someone is feeling anxious and uncomfortable, what should they do?
Again, same thing. If you feel for yourself, you don't feel like coming, you're too anxious, you don't feel this is right for you, let us know. No problems. We'll take care of you. We can refund your entry, transfer it over to another thing. We really want to work with you. We know we can do this in as safe a way as possible. We know being in a relatively small crowd in a very big area in a forest is a relatively safe place to be. But then again, it's up to you. Where are you coming from? Where do you travel? Where are you staying? All that. You need to take all those things into consideration for yourselves. All right. And with that, I think we got everything covered. Thank you so much for listening in. I look massively forward to seeing you all. It's going to be a great race. So we have a lot more people than we had last year there, which is great to see. We had a few fantastic events, and we're pretty sure this will be another really cracker of a race, even if it does rain a little bit here and there. I think overall, with a bit of luck, it won't be that bad. So yeah, see you there. Whoop!